Okay guys, welcome back to another video, and thanks again for joining me. For those who are still hanging around and grasping at their last clutches at anything that's related to confrontation, and I hope that I can deliver some almost daily content in a very short video format, just to keep you in the loop of what's going on here. Now, my sister also delivered not only the Ragnarok box set, but all the catalogs, which is wonderful. I think this is probably my first catalog that I bought in 2004. That's probably when I first discovered Rackham. And I just fell in love with all of these paint jobs and was just memorized by how these talented people were doing all this stuff. This was in a stark contrast to what I was used to with Games Workshop and their painting style. And when I saw stuff like this, I was completely mesmerized, blown away, breaking and snapping my paintbrushes in frustration as to how these guys were delivering such incredible paint jobs. And oh, that's a good shot. Okay, I've just noticed this photo here. I should have checked that before I painted it. I'm going to show you some paint commissions I'm working for as well in a moment, but the books are a wonderful resource for me to check things like that, because I painted it red, that icon, not yellow, like it is there. And I want to really try to capture the same color schemes, if I can, of the studio paint jobs. But yeah, these are a great resource for the history and looking at the studio staff. I just chatted with Martin. He asked me to get some items here in Japan from the Volks hobby store. There's some magazines that he's after, so I'll help him with that. And I showed him a photo of his very young face there in the studio there with Vincent. Two of my favorite painters, I think, during the reign of Rackham, and they brought an incredible new way to look at miniature painting as a real art form, I think anyway. And it also allowed me to discover these strange white cap pots of paint they were using, and I hadn't seen those before. And of course, that's Vallejo, that I later discovered in a model shop in Queensland, Australia. And I gladfully grabbed, I don't know, 15, 20 paints, and it just changed everything for me. I never looked back from the dropper bottle style of paint pots. Even gave a bit of history of the how they're packaged and all that kind of thing. Probably collectible items nowadays, looking at what's available in the second-hand markets on Facebook marketplaces and that kind of thing. But this is my first foray into what was, then Rackham and Confrontation, the world of R-Clash with the game of Hybrid. Didn't really understand the concepts of it, and it just didn't gel with the people that I played, I think, twice or three times with. But now, in the 20th anniversary, having that nostalgia ping of getting that box set again just for the miniatures and painting the models and stuff like that, playing it again, I realized it's such a brilliant game. And I'd really missed it the first time around, but the second time around, yeah, really fell in love with it, really got the idea behind it. And it's a great strategy game with, especially with these cards and adding different experience each time you play. I think it's a really great game, even though it has some obvious clerical errors in the typing and missing rules and all kinds of stuff that plagued a lot of the stuff that in the translations. Yeah, but anyhow, talking about painting, the painting guide here, there's a great overlook at how the painting process is applied there at the studio. I think maybe this is one of Martin's paint jobs as well, if I'm not mistaking or discrediting somebody else. I think that's a Martin paint job. I won't pronounce his last name because it'll be totally awful, and only a French person should be able to pronounce French names, because I'm definitely going to butcher it big time. But apart from all the beautiful models, it's a great way to catalog and look at things. I don't particularly like looking at stuff online, because generally, even though online is quite good because you can blow up the pictures and look it up in more detail, but I love having a physical copy of the books here to use as references. So with that said, I'm going to show you some commissions I'm working for. So a person on Discord reached out to me and asked if I could do some commission work on some Rackham models that he has. And maybe these form part of his collection, and they're unpainted and they're probably just, you know, very loved models from the time, and he just maybe didn't have the time or skill or to paint them, and they've just been sitting there and, you know, gathering dust as they often do. So he sent me some wonderful lion models to paint, and I just noticed that was in yellow, so I'm going to change that to make it more accurate. But yeah, really, really lovely figures. I've never painted any of these cavalry models. I've often admired how beautiful the models are, but I've never really painted one, so it was a good opportunity to do that. So there's a few models. There's the Red Lioness, which again is another iconic model and graces the front cover of the Ragnarok box set that Paul Bonner did famously. And yeah, really enjoyed painting this model as well. They'll receive a better showcase later because I haven't done the basing, obviously, and I'm still in the painting process of you know, touching up things and what have you. And there's her on foot as well. Yeah, so they're already assembled and based and everything when I got them. I just removed the sand textured coating on top, as it was just sort of flaking and breaking off just due to age. I think that the glue had just broken down and that, so I just did that sort of to rebase them. This is the character model for them, so I'm working on that at the moment. So that's my work today, working on him. I think it's Bregan, I think his name is, with his mighty lance. So yeah, he's a nice model. Again, the horses are incredible. They're just so beautiful, so beautifully designed, just amazing. So that forms the lion faction, and I've got these two here for Acheron. So that's, I think he's called the Mighty Crane, or the Great Crane. And this female character, I'm not actually all that clued up on, actually, to be honest. But obviously she's she's one of the characters in the faction. I love the undead range. I think they're probably one of the best ranges ever made in any manufacturing collection of models. I think the undead for Acheron were just incredible models. So, and I had those, but sadly sold them off, needing the money at the time. I think they're happily in someone else's collection in the United States now. But yeah, they'll be the next two that I paint up for my client as part of evylead Studios. I am a full-time painter. That's what I do to earn a crust. And I really love my job, and I put my heart and soul in every project that I take on. So that's just to give you a bit of a quick look at what I'm working on in terms of painting. And I'll give you another like final progress shot of all the completed models, and maybe include some of the, certainly for these guys, and maybe for him, I do like these, what I call splatter natters, but basically splattering paint on something and having a natter at the same time. So I might do some videos, some short hobby videos on that, and just sit here and paint and just chat and talk about confrontation and Rackham, basically. So that's the commissions. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. Now, the other reason why I really wanted to inject some content into the channel again was to basically get me motivated to finish off a project that I started, I think, would have been more than 12 months ago now, and that was to paint a Ragnarok 1000 AP force for my Tinner Boar, which is my favourite faction. And just painting dwarves generally, just getting a lot of stuff done. I've got models sitting there since 2006 that haven't been painted, and there's no excuse to buy more models. It's just the time to get stuff done. So this is part of my 30-minute paint, like a splatter natter, if you like. So I'll be back in just a moment with my paint set up, and we'll sit here and just paint for about 30 minutes or so and have a chat. Not the most conventional way of people doing painting videos, but this is not meant to be a tutorial. This is just meant to be a motivational thing for myself. A, to create content, B, to get stuff painted for future battle reports and that kind of thing. And They're not intended as tutorials, so if that was what you were thinking, I'm sorry to mislead you in that way. It's not a tutorial at all. They're really just ways of me creating content for the channel and having a bit of a natter at the same time. So that way you can paint in the background and don't have to worry about watching me doing anything. Maybe you have a question you want to ask me and you want to pose in the next video. That would be great. I'd like to have, you know, communication with the viewers. If there are any people left that give a damn about confrontation or this channel, then we'd love to hear from you. I'm using these TT Combat paints. They were very kind in sending me a whole bundle of these to test out and to use in videos and that kind of thing. So I thought I would give them a shout out here. I am a Vallejo person through and through. I have been for many, many years. But they sent me that and I thought, oh, that's good, because I can use those and try them out and see how they go. And you know, if they're really good, I'll continue to order some from them. I think they're based in the UK through Troll Trader. Is their main sort of company. And I heard good things about them from guys online. So, and they're really good. It's hard to beat the range of Vallejo. I mean, I discovered those, like I said, in about 2006. So that sort of revolutioned everything for me in terms of painting. And I never looked back from there. But given the recent news of Vallejo and their very bad trading practices, or just bad practices generally in regards to their staff, as they're on strike at the moment, and looks like it's going to be indefinitely that they'll be on strike, I'm happy to support anybody else at the moment than Vallejo. So it might be a good opportunity to spread my wings a little bit and try out new things and see what else is out there. Now the color scheme in the book for the studio scheme is got like a very dark, almost black bronze kind of, or brass kind of color. And but I really wanted him. I'm sure that they did 2 color schemes for this guy, because I wanted him to match my core warriors. There's of course Hirh-Karn, the Enraged, and yeah, I want to make him sort of match up with the color scheme I've got with mine. Just seems so strange that his color scheme's so different from the other guys, but I suppose I want to make him very distinguished from the other set of models. Interesting enough too that the paint is not really going onto the model so well. Maybe it's because my palette is a bit too wet or something, but it seems strange. It's just not covering, which is weird. I can't remember when I can't remember when I started doing this. I think it was about 12 months or more ago, 18 months ago, when I started putting all this stuff together and spraying it all up. And yeah, it sort of just languished there for such a long time. And I thought, that's it. I'm getting this stuff done. I'm just pissed off that it's just sitting there not getting done. And I thought 30 minutes a day is very much achievable in amongst all the other stuff I've got to do. And that way I can see progress and I just feel better. If you can hear someone knocking and hammering out the back, sorry about that. Looks like someone's doing some building work or something at the back there. because this is a Wednesday morning, just after 8 o'clock. Just had my coffee and thought it's time to make a video. I did tell my client in the US that I would be making this video today to showcase his models and to give him a bit of an update on where I am. And it's a great way of doing that, and also, you know, telling people about my channel and telling them about my, you know, that I am a full-time painter. This is my profession, and that if you're needing a quote or something, if you are looking for commissions, please get in touch. Very simple email address, evylead@gmail.com. Evylead is my company name. So that's eavylead@gmail.com. I'll leave in the description on this video the email address for you to contact me if you are looking for a quote. But I've got some more. I've got another commission here from my good friend Silvano. I think most people know who Silvano is. He's a guy out of Canada who has an incredible, if not the biggest collection of Rackham stuff the world has ever seen. And I do have some models here from him as well that I need to paint. That have been sitting here for quite a while, like this client's models have. So it's just been trying to get to them. So this holiday is when I'll be doing that. So I'll be breaking those out next and getting them painted and shipped back to him in Canada to add to his collection. So I'm going with that sort of how would you call it? Like a reddish brown coloured armor for this guy. But yeah, strangely the paint, now this is just fresh paint out of a pot, it's not applying to the, it's not really applying so well to the primer, which is really weird. It's never happened before. Now, in terms of other things like video creation and that kind of stuff for this channel, now, if people don't know, my main channel is the Crown of Command Games, or Crown of Command Games. That's my main sort of bread and butter channel that has obviously the most content, all the videos, all my main videos that I create there through as part of, it's also part of my full-time job, as I have a Patreon who fund all of that for me, thankfully for them, or you know, thanks to them that I can do that. All those videos are there, so I do have confrontation content there, but the new format that I'm filming everything in more of a narrative style rather than a sort of gameplay style will be the way I'm going forward with it. So I hope to do some more stuff with Paul next year, especially hybrid. I'm really missing that, and also another, in the new format, doing sort of, you know, dwarves against his what's his name, the Midnor guys, as they're really the only factions we have. I've got some griffins. And we did add a couple of models there. Paul's got a couple of models that he got me to paint for him to match the other stuff I've got there. I think that's Mira the Reckless, and what was the other one? Oh, the Paladin, the Knight of Hodge Paladin, I think it is, from the Nemesis set. So we were lucky to pick up some models from a website here in Japan called Mercari, I think it's called, and they had some really great offers for stuff, I think, from former sellers here in Japan. They had stores or something, and they had lots of old stock, and I think they'll get us getting rid of it, or collectors or what have you. And that's how I picked up all my Cry Havocs through there. And we picked up a few. I got Serid through there as well, and Paul picked up quite a lot of bits and pieces through them as well, which is great. So that turned out to be quite handy. Okay, so all the armor is applied, the base coat anyway, the base coat for his flesh. I'm going to let that dry for now, and I'll come back when I do the next part a little bit, and I'll just put some other paint on my palette here, because Martin did tell me the paint recipe for doing the armor, and it was basically red leather, orange, brown, some beige, ivory, and I think it was some orange ink as well. That was part of that. I hope I got that right, Martin, if he's ever going to watch this. I will tell him that I'm doing it, so he can watch it if he wants to. Because he is also a full-time painter, but he does like painting for like companies and everything, not like I do. I just do it for, well, I do it for one company, thankfully, which is always nice to see your work later published in magazines or rule books or what have you. It's always a lovely feeling. But yeah, Martin does a lot of stuff for various companies in Europe. But I asked him one day, you know, if you wouldn't mind, could you tell me what the recipe was? And I think it was Sebastian, I don't know his last name, sorry, but Sebastian did all the painting of the dwarves back in those days. Or he sort of set the template for the recipe of that beautiful emblazoned sort of orange armor that he did the models with, and I love that color. And so he gave me some tips, which is very, very kind of him. Good old Martin. I just sent him his Christmas present in the mail, because I know he loves his Japanese anime and manga and all that kind of stuff, the big robots and stuff like that, which, to be honest, it never really grabbed me, all that stuff. But I know for him, he loves it. He loves all those sort of one-off garage kit type Gundam things and all of that. And he's always ordering stuff here from the store at Volks is the name of the company that sell all that kind of thing. They got a big store in, well, they had a big store in Akihabara, but I think they closed that during COVID, sadly. It was about 7 stories high, you know, full of stuff, and they're the main distributor for Vallejo paints and all their products. So you can get anything from them, which is incredibly handy, considering it's not so far from where I live, and about $10 shipping. So it's very, very handy to get that. And I can get it cash on delivery and everything. So it's very, very handy to have that so close by. But I will try to use as many of the TT combat paints as I can. As again, I do want to sort of branch out and try different things, try different paint brands. As long as they're dropper bottles, I'm happy with them. Duncan Rhodes is another one that I'd like to try, but availability again is another kind of issue. And I think we'll go with some blue robes for him, as a blue is a nice colour to the orange, complements it well. And if my good mate Jeremy from End of the World Gaming is watching, whoever watches these videos, he may have given up on confrontation as well. But I was just watching our live stream the other day when we did those together. They were fun. It was Tin Arbor. He was playing Tin Arbor against the Midnor that I used to have, because they got shipped off to Silvano when I was in dire straits financially, and they were the first commodity of mine to go, basically. And that is the sad nature of that, unfortunately. But they're in a good home. And maybe one day, he didn't really need them. He just sort of helped me out, which is very kind of him. He could have just said, "No, man, I'm sorry, I don't really need those." But I needed to shift stuff really quickly, so he grabbed them. And then maybe one day, I'll if I'm financially stable again, I can buy them back again and continue the collection, because I really did enjoy those Midnor models, painting them especially. They were so nice, and that was a very good deal that I picked up from that guy in France for the whole set. It's about 150 euros, I think, for the whole lot. But yeah, that is a sad reality of being like self-employed. And sadly, the Goblin Pirates went with them, because that was something he really wanted. And I thought, well, I finally finished doing the whole bloody lot too. I finally finished that last pirate as well, just to complete the whole thing. And I thought, well, one day when I'm just more financially sound and everything, then I can go back and try to collect those again and paint them again with the black troll and all that. So, but again, I'm happy he's got it, because it goes to a really good place that I know it's not going to get sold on for a profit. It's basically a he has like a museum of stuff there, and he values my work and everything, so that's good. It's gone to a good home. I can always look at them if I need to, but they were fun to paint and everything. I love the goblin. The goblin and the dwarves are my favorite factions of any kind of fantasy system, really. I tend to bring the most joy when painting, and the theme and everything. But griffins were the first faction I collected as part of, like, getting into the hobby of Rackham and confrontation. They were the first faction that I did, probably because of the hybrid game. Okay, so the blue's on there, and I think I'm just going to do the sword blade. That's in this TT Combat color. This is like a dark grey. It's not a blue grey, it's more just a black grey. So now we'll give it a shot. I usually use Luftwaffe World War uniform grey, it's like a dark blue grey for this as a base, and then like French Mirage blue and like a lighter grey, like a Stonewall grey or something like that to highlight. But I'll give these a go, give these paints a shot and see if, because really, a grey is a grey. It doesn't really matter what company it comes from. It's just the hue will be different, and some just work nicely together and just work better together, really, in a combination. But we'll give these a go and see how they go. And then to complement the orange and the blue, and everything. I'm going to go with a yellowy type of beard and hair. So I just got some ochre here that I'm using for the armor on the lions. So I'm going to use that as the base color for that. So it's all sketched in. It's not really overly neat as long as the the paint doesn't overlap and go into other colors. But I'm just going to put that down as like a base coat here. And again, there's not really a painting tutorial video. It was not meant to be. It was kind of just a bit of a natter and getting some hobby done. And I'll just release these sporadically through the week when I have the time and inclination. But I want to keep motivated and get some confrontation painted. I did enter the painting competition, or the challenge. It's not a competition, sorry, it was a challenge on the Discord. Didn't paint one single thing, not one. So, and that's all finished now. So I thought, oh, that'd be a great chance. It'd be a great opportunity to get this done, and it just never happened. So I'm happy the channel is still here, and that it will be a great little motivator for me to do stuff like this. And talking about channels, I've got another channel I started yesterday, and that will be to cover everything that's non-related to Games Workshop, 90s games, non-related to Rackham, Confrontation. It's all about sort of modern systems, really. It's Test of Honor, which is one of my favorite games, like modern games that I play, and Baron's War, which is the footsore miniature medieval sort of skirmish game, which Paul Hicks does a lot of work for, and I really like his work. I love the range, and the game looks very good. The system looks great, and I tend to like everything that Footsore does in terms of games and miniatures generally. And it's a bit of a change for me. I'm not a historical player, but I really enjoy that theme, medieval knights. I like the 100 Years' War and all that kind of thing. That the heraldry and the color schemes of the knights, and who doesn't like a knight? I love knights and samurai. I think they're cool. So yeah, I'm sort of working on that again as another motivator to get things done. So I've got stuff languishing there on the shelf for Test of Honor that I bought for my birthday, and that was in April, and never touched it. So I put the models together, and that's as far as I got. And Baron's War, I've sort of just been slowly chipping away at that, and I just need to have another 30 minutes a day, not 30 days. 30 days would be lovely. I'll get a lot done then, but 30 minutes a day, and sitting here like this, having a natter, having a paint, and then saying, okay, cool, I've achieved that for today, and then the next day I continue on. So yeah, I'm just trying to work out a schedule of when I will do these. Hopefully twice a week. Confrontation twice a week, I think that's doable, 30 minutes. And I think we're almost out of time today, guys. So I'm going to leave it there, actually. But yeah, I'll leave it there. It's at least got some base coats on him at this stage. Nothing spectacular. But at least you can get to see the process. You get to see, because I think this is probably achievable for most people, just putting down some base coats. Now, obviously, contrast paints is a thing now, and I don't use contrast paints, but I can see how effective they would be in terms of just getting a really quick, instant, gratifying effect on your miniatures. But I'm going to show you my way and my method, and if that helps you, then great. If it doesn't, then just use your own method. But yeah, I just put down some sort of darker base coats, and I sort of I go from dark to light, basically. That's kind of my process that I like to follow. But there we go. We've got some base coats. I'll just sort of tidy that up a little bit before the next paint session, so we can go straight into doing some washes and then building up those dark colors up to lighter colors. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to catch you again next time. Thanks again. Take care.